You wake up every day thinking you're doing the best for your health. But what if I told you that, in the early hours of the morning, you could be making silent mistakes that increase your risk of type 2 diabetes complications? Did you know that certain morning habits, which seem harmless, can be knowing your blood sugar and preventing diabetes control? Have you ever felt that even though you try to eat well, your blood sugar levels remain high? If you have pre-diabetes, insulin resistant, or have been recently diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, what you do as soon as you wake up can be the biggest saboteur of your health. And the truth is that many people still believe that you just need to take the medicine and that's it. But diabetes control begins even before breakfast. Do you want to protect your vision, your heart, and even your kidneys? So stay with me, because in this video I will reveal 4 dangerous morning mistakes that may be destroying your glycemic control without you realizing. And the worst thing is that almost everyone commits at least one of them. And the most shocking thing is that many of these mistakes are so ingrained in our routine that we don't even realize how much they directly influence our glucose control. That's it, evolution of type 2 diabetes. The first mistake, and perhaps one of the most common, is skip breakfast. Many people do this thinking they are saving calories or even practicing intermittent fasting randomly without monitoring. But if you have insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, or have already been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, this can be extremely dangerous. When you wake up, your body needs energy to function well. And if this energy does not come from a balanced diet, the body understands it as a sign of stress. This raises cortisol levels and, as a consequence, increases blood glucose. This behavior, repeated every day, can be one of the biggest saboteurs of your treatment, even if you are taking medication correctly. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket. The effort is there, but the result doesn't appear. Now, the second error is almost a classic among those who have diabetes, but still believe in quick solutions: drinking coffee with sugar or overdoing it with artificial sweeteners. Sugar, of course, we already know that it raises glucose quickly, but what few talk about is that many sweeteners can also interfere with your glucose levels. Insulin sensitivity. Sweeteners such as aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin may seem harmless because they have no calories, but studies show that they alter the intestinal microbiota and favor increased insulin resistance. And if you're trying to control your blood sugar, that's a shot in the foot. Furthermore, by keeping your taste buds addicted to sweets, these sweeteners can make you feel more hungry throughout the day, making you eat more and worse. And believe me, most people who consume these products believe they are doing the right thing. Therefore, a simple replacement can make a huge difference. How about trying the coffee with cinnamon, which in addition to having a delicious flavor, helps control blood sugar levels naturally? Moving on to the third error, which almost no one comments on: not drinking water when waking up. It seems silly, right? But think with me. You spend 6 to 8 hours sleeping without drinking fluids, while your body continues to function, eliminating toxins, balancing hormones, and trying to keep your blood sugar stable. When you wake up, your body needs hydration to function properly. And when you skip this step and go straight to coffee, your body has to work harder to process everything without the help of water, which puts a strain on your kidneys, liver, and so on. Can lead to increased blood sugar. That's right. The lack of water can increase blood sugar. Drinking a large glass of water on an empty stomach as soon as you get up is a simple act that activates metabolism, helps with digestion, and contributes to hormonal regulation. It's an effective way to prepare the body for the day, especially for those who live a daily battle with the lack of glycemic control. And finally, the fourth mistake, and this is the most treacherous, is starting the day with highly refined, starchy foods like white bread, biscuits, whole grain crackers full of hidden sugar, or those fitness cereals that promise health but deliver glucose. These foods have a high glycemic index, which means they turn into blood sugar very quickly. The result? A glycemic spike in the early hours of the day, which will destabilize your entire metabolism and make you more likely to feel hungry, tired, and have difficulty concentrating. If you have type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, this is even more serious. The ideal is to start the day with quality proteins and fiber, which slow down the absorption of glucose and provide constant energy.
Foods like eggs, avocado, chia, flaxseed, and even a natural smoothie with sugar-free oats. They are powerful options for keeping blood sugar under control. And don't be fooled by the labels. Just because a food is fit or zero sugar doesn't mean it's safe for anyone trying it.
Avoid glucose spikes. These 4 mistakes, although they seem small, can be the big invisible villains that are preventing you from lower blood sugar naturally, control diabetes, and live with more quality. They silently sabotage your efforts, and, what's worse, because they are disguised as normal or even healthy habits, you don't even realize the harm they are causing. The good news is that, by becoming aware of them, you are already on the right path. Understanding how the body works, especially in relation to insulin and glucose, is the key to transforming your health without suffering, without crazy diets, and without living hostage to medications forever. And the most interesting thing is that the big problem is that these habits, because they seem harmless, go unnoticed. But they are real traps for those who live with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes. They act silently, day after day, and the body gives signs that many people ignore. Constant fatigue, untimely hunger, blurred vision, difficulty concentrating. All of this may be related to the uncontrolled blood sugar. The most dangerous thing is insulin resistance, which is installing itself in a sneaky way. The pancreas needs to work harder and harder to produce insulin, to the point where the body simply no longer responds as it should. And then the serious complications of diabetes, neuropathy, kidney problems, impaired vision, and even risk of amputations. This is why it is so important to identify these sabotaging behaviors early on. Because if you don't correct them now, they will accumulate and make it increasingly difficult to natural diabetes control. And the scariest thing is that this is happening to millions of people every day, without them even realizing it. In Brazil, it is estimated that more than 16 million people live with type 2 diabetes. And the most alarming thing is that almost half don't even know they have the disease. We are talking about a silent but devastating problem that grows every year. What few people understand is that controlling diabetes doesn't start with medicine. It starts with you. Morning routine, what you eat, what you drink, and even what you think when you wake up. Every decision you make early on has a direct impact on your insulin response in your body throughout the day. Ignoring these small details is like unknowingly fueling the progression of the disease. And the truth is that no one wakes up with diabetes out of the blue. It's a process that is built with daily habits. That's why act urgently is fundamental. The longer these errors persist, the more difficult it becomes to regain control of your blood sugar levels, and the closer you get to chronic complications. The time is now, because you can no longer wait for your blood sugar to stabilize on its own. I say this with authority because I've been exactly where you may be now. I've also made all these morning mistakes, thinking I was doing it right. I've had coffee with sugar thinking it was just a little. I've left the house without eating anything, believing that it would help me lose weight. And I've abused bread and cereals, believing the labels that said whole grain or zero sugar. But the result? My glucose levels were always out of control, even with an apparently correct diet. And the feeling was one of frustration, fatigue that didn't go away, constant hunger, difficulty focusing, anxiety, and constant worry about diabetes complications. Until one day I understood the problem wasn't just what I ate, it was how I started my day. And that's when the turnaround began. I decided to study more about nutrition for diabetics, insulin resistance, and how the body reacts to simple stimuli. I adjusted my morning routine, started hydrating my body when I woke up, replaced sweetened coffee with cinnamon, swapped white bread for scrambled eggs with avocado and chia. No radical changes, no miracle solutions, just small but conscious decisions. And the impact was surprising. Within days, my glucose levels began to drop. I felt more energetic, less irritable, lighter. My mind became clearer, and that constant feeling of hunger disappeared. What seemed impossible, control type 2 diabetes naturally and effectively, began to become part of my reality. And do you know the most interesting thing? The change began precisely in first 30 minutes of my day. This showed me that the secret is in the details. And that's why I'm here telling you this. Because if it worked for me, it can also work for you. But of course, it is not enough to just eliminate errors. It is necessary to adopt new morning habits that work in your favor in controlling blood sugar levels. Avoiding these invisible saboteurs is just the first step. The real impact happens when you turn your morning into a strategic time to take care of your health, your metabolic health. And best of all, it's not complicated. There are simple practices that anyone can apply while fasting, which help regulate insulin production, reduce inflammation, and improve the functioning of metabolism as a whole. And when these attitudes become routine, the body responds naturally. And that's when you realize that you don't need to live hostage to glycemic spikes, constant fears, or that insecurity about what to eat. You start to take control. And in the next videos, I'll show you exactly how to implement these strategies that, along with correcting morning mistakes, will transform your day and your path towards control. Type 2 diabetes. Why? You don't need to change everything at once. It's normal to feel a certain fear when talking about changing habits, especially when we've tried everything and nothing seems to work. But the truth is that, in the case of type 2 diabetes, the secret is in the small steps. Start in the morning. Correcting these 4 mistakes you learned here is already a powerful strategy to lower glucose without suffering. And do you know what is most motivating? It's just that when you start to apply these changes, even if simple, the body responds. Your pancreas will thank you, your blood sugar stabilizes, emotional hunger decreases, and that oscillation between peaks and drops in blood sugar begins to disappear. You feel more willing, more in control, more confident. And this feeling of progress is what gives you the strength to move forward. There is nothing more encouraging than seeing the results appearing in the blood test, in the mirror, and especially in the way you feel on a daily basis. So, even if it seems little now, avoiding these morning mistakes is already a huge step forward on your journey to reverse or control diabetes. You don't have to do everything perfect. The most important thing is to start, and you've already started just by being here, seeking information, taking control of your health. This shows that you are no longer willing to be dominated by fear of high blood sugar, complications, insulin, or medication side effects. And if there's anything I can guarantee you, based on everything I've experienced and studied, it's that consistency beats despair. Small changes made every day with focus and awareness are much more powerful than radical decisions that don't last a week. And it is precisely with this mindset that you will take the next step. Why? If this content made you reflect, if it helped you see more clearly the morning mistakes that were going unnoticed, then now is your turn to act. Leave your like below. This not only helps me understand that I'm on the right path, but it also shows YouTube that this content is important, and so it reaches more people who are also struggling to control their type 2 diabetes. Take advantage and subscribe to the channel, because this is just the beginning. We'll still talk a lot about how to reverse prediabetes, how to lower glucose naturally, what really works, and what's just a myth, all in simple, direct language and based on science and real experience. And now I want to hear from you. Comment below which of these 4 morning mistakes you commit or commit the most. Is the coffee with sugar? Is it skipping breakfast? Is it trusting fit foods that hide sugar? Tell me why your experience can help other people too. Here is a space for us to exchange, learn, and grow together. Oh, and get ready, because in the next video, I'll show you exactly what to eat for breakfast without fear of increasing your blood glucose. I'll bring practical ideas, intelligent combinations, foods that stabilize blood sugar and still give you energy to start the day well. There will no longer be a need to be confused when putting together your dish or stuck to crazy diets. I'll show you how to put one together, anti-diabetes eating routine early on in a simple, tasty, and accessible way. So activate the bell so you don't miss out, because this next tip could be exactly what you need to take the next step on this journey of transformation. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share this video right now. Remember, the right knowledge at the right time can save lives. And your health deserves this care every day from the first meal. If you really want to prevent pre-diabetes from becoming a sentence of type 2 diabetes, you need to watch the next video now. Experts revealed 6 natural teas that can transform your health and help to prevent disease progression without medication. And there are people who are taking it wrong or don't even know they can use it. Don't wait for your blood sugar to rise any further. Now click on the video, revealed 6 teas recommended by experts that help prevent type 2 diabetes naturally, before it's too late. This could be the content that will change your routine and your life.